What is good, my people? This is Kobe2408. As always, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share if you enjoy these videos. Make sure you hit the notification button so you know when I upload a new video or when I live stream. I'm doing this video a little differently. Currently on the PBE, it's patch 7.13 or 7.13. Normally I'd pre-record everything and then voice over. However, I'm doing this in person. Just doing it a little different, that's all. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Abyssal Mask. This has changed. As you can see, the build path has changed. If you buy this item all the time, you know what the build path is. However, so it builds from a catalyst now. The gold is now 2,900 instead of 2,800, so it's a little more expensive. They also got rid of, let me look at my notes real quick. They also got rid of the 100% base health regen, so they nerfed that part of it since you're getting health from the catalyst. And obviously the passive has changed. It's new. 15% of damage taken from champions is gained as mana. Spending mana restores 20% of the cost as health, up to 25 per cast. So basically whatever the catalyst does, it builds into it, adds to the Abyssal Mask now. So also the magic resist went from 55, as you can see on the screen. They nerfed it down from 65, so it's a lot less magic resist. It's a little more expensive, so I think AP mid laners will probably utilize this a little more since it does build from this catalyst. People who have mana issues are probably going to end up building this as well. There might be some top laners like Galia and things like that, but we'll find out. We'll see how this plays out. It's still a good item overall. And I think that's really it. Obviously, it gives one more thing. It gives mana just because from the catalyst. So that is that from the Abyssal Mask. So a little bit of a nerf. So the first champion I want to talk about is Galia. Now he's receiving some nerfs. It's somewhat slight, especially to his early game. His Q damage is going down early game. However, the AP ratio on it is going up by 15%, from 45% to 60%, which is quite a bit. So late game, he's going to be still a force to be reckoned with, as you can say, but he's still going to have some impact late game instead of just nerfing him outright. So a lot of what Riot is doing now is they're nerfing the base damage and increasing the ratios of all the champions so they can at least have somewhat of a, again, an impact mid to late game. So that's on his Q. Also, very quickly, his base armor is going down. So this is a base stat. It's going from 27 to 24. I don't know, not that much, but maybe he takes a little more punishment in the lane longer in the top lane from AD champions, but that's not that bad. So yes, his Q needed to be nerfed. It's just, it does way too much damage. As you can see right now, it's not doing that much damage. But this is max and I don't have any items, so you need scaling. You need to build items on him now. To make him a factor mid to late game. Also, his ultimate, the AP ratio is getting increased by 10%. I don't know if it really needed to be increased. His ultimate is crazy anyways. If you don't know what his ultimate does, let's see if I can get something here. So you just press R and he goes up. So it's increased by 10%. The AP ratio is getting increased by 10%. That's how I wanted to say that. So a little more damage once you build items, and that's Galia for you. So now we have Kennan. Now Kennan is getting nerfed. His AD side is getting nerfed because personally I hate AD Kennan, but he's being played so often, or he's a picker ban in the LCS, so that's kind of why Riot is targeting him. His split pushing ability with the building AD items is just ridiculous, and then once he has full AD items, he's kind of crazy because he can basically stun the entire team and he does an insane amount of damage. But anyways, so the attack growth is being lowered from 3.4% to 3%, which is, it's not that much. However, the W, this right there, as you can see, is being, the AP scaling on it is going up by 5%, so it's going to entice people to try to build AP instead. So it's going from 55% to 60%, which is pretty good. I personally love AP Kennan. I love playing AP Kennan. I love one-shotting people with him. But so that is being changed on his W. Also on his W, the stack. So if you can see right here in the left corner, the electrical surge, instead of landing on somebody and then adding a stack, actually right when you throw it, like right when I throw this, it's gonna add a stack. Now 2. So right when I throw it, it adds a stack. Even if it doesn't land my auto attack for some reason, it still adds a stack. So that's a change with his W. Right now on the live server, you have to land the auto attack and then it adds the stack. So a little different, just a little change to that. Also on his E, his lightning surge, which is this right here. You can see, dude, I love this skin. This is the Blood Moon skin, so awesome. The AP ratio is being changed. It's going from 60% to 80%, which is quite a bit. 20% change on his E is a lot. Obviously, running through people is going to be a lot more important, and it's going to do a lot more damage. So that is Kennan. AD is being nerfed, and AP is being buffed. Pretty awesome. I'm glad for the change. So now we're looking at Khazix. Now he's getting a pretty big nerf to his Q. However, his R is being buffed a little bit. So his Q, the base damage is being lowered from 70, 95, 120, 145, 170 to 60, 85, 110, 135, 160. All that means is it's being lowered by 10 base damage at every level. And then his bonus AD ratio lowered from 120% to 110%. So that's quite a bit. That's a 10% decrease on bonus AD. So that's a pretty big hit to him. I don't see him that often, but I guess in the higher elos, he's being a menace and running around and getting all these kills. So a lot of that is going down. Also, the part that's, so his base and his bonus AD is being lowered on his Q. However, the isolated target damage is being increased from 50% to 65%. So it's going to be much more important to get isolated targets, just like I have right here, and then doing damage to these targets, because it's going to do a lot more damage to these isolated targets. So again, he's an assassin. He wants to pick people off, and getting people isolated in a team fight is basically how he gets his kills for the most part. He's very squishy. So isolating people out is very important to Khazix. However, on his ultimate, they're buffing his ultimate. So active stealth duration is being increased from 1.25 to 1.5, which is like a 0.25 extra stealth duration, which isn't that much. However, so here's his ultimate. So by 0.25 extra stealth duration isn't very much, but if you evolve it, I know most people don't evolve it, but if you evolve it now, like I'm doing, now it goes from, let's see, what is it? From 2.5 seconds to 3 seconds. So that's another 0.5 extra stealth duration. I think that's a pretty good increase. You can't have this guy invisible all the time, or he's just gonna pick people off all game. He's gonna be like an Evelyn or a Shaco, somebody that's really annoying, but that's pretty good, not bad. It'll be, now you have a choice between either evolving, because I know a lot of people evolve Void Spikes instead of doing like the ultimate. Now it'd be a little more enticing again to evolve the ultimate, which is pretty dope. So I do like Khazix. Let me know what you guys think about that. I don't main Khazix, but I do like playing him. So that is what's going on with Khazix. So very quickly, I want to go over Maokai. Maokai is receiving a buff on his ultimate. At max rank, it's going to be lowered by 20 seconds, which is a lot, so you can actually cast it more often late game. And it is going from, its cooldown is the same at rank 1, 120 seconds. Then rank 2, it's down by 10 seconds to 100 seconds. And then rank 3, it is going to be 80 seconds. So it's going down by 20 seconds. And that's all that Maokai is receiving for this patch. We don't need to see any more buffs to Maokai. We need more nerfs, because I hate this champion, but that is Maokai. So now we're looking at Shaco. Now Shaco is receiving some major buffs to his E. The base damage is being changed. It's being increased. The AD ratio is being changed from a flat 75% AD to obviously bonus AD, as it says on the screen. But it's on a scaling percentage. So it's going from 60%, 70 to 75%, 90% at rank 3, rank 4, 105. And then rank 5, it's going to 120%, which is a lot of bonus AD. So it's going to do a lot of damage late game. The damage type is just being changed from magical to physical. That's not too bad. So if you build AD against Shaco, the E won't do as much damage, obviously. But this is the new part. Now deals up to 50% additional damage based on targets missing health. So the more health they have missing, the more damage it's going to do, his E. So let me just get this guy low. As you can see, he's missing some health, this dummy. I'm pressing E, and it's doing 400. Obviously, it's increasing as he's missing health, but I cast it on this dummy that has full health, and it's only doing what? Well, it's going up, obviously, 390. So somebody that has full health is not going to do as much, but the more health they have missing is going to do more damage. This is crazy. So Shaco is already an assassin, and then people who are missing health are going to be really scared of Shaco coming up and just eating them to death. So you just got to be careful. Yes, his E's being buffed, so I guess you're going to max this first. I'm not really sure. I don't really play Shaco, so I don't know exactly, but that is Shaco. Pretty crazy buffs he's getting. He's going to be definitely a huge threat in the jungle again, but that is Shaco. So now we're looking at Trundle, one of my favorite champions to play in the top lane. He is receiving some buffs. On his Q, the AD reduction for opponent is being changed from 10, 12.5, 17.5, and then 20 to 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So what that means is when he uses Q, if you don't know what Trundle does, his Q is bite. He steals AD from the enemy and gives it to himself. So they have less AD depending on what rank this is. So at max rank, it's going to steal 40 AD from the enemy champion and give it to Trundle. So they're going to have 40 less attack damage. I think that's quite a bit, especially late game. It could save somebody from dying. Yeah, so that's what's going on with his Q. Again, look, I'm at 240 attack damage, or 241, and then when I bite somebody, it steals and gives me 40. So that's quite a bit to give to Trundle. I mean, obviously you don't build AD items on Trundle. You basically will build one AD item, and then the rest will be tank items. So that's pretty good. So it's going to make him somewhat of a factor late game. Also with his Q, so they've reverted his Q back to the old Q where you can chomp towers now. They did this so you can push towers, because Trundle's been struggling with pushing towers since there's a lot of champions that have easy time taking down towers. So they've reverted his Q back so you can bite towers now, which is pretty dope. I like that change. It's just basically the old Trundle. The old Trundle could bite towers and take down towers very quickly, and now they revert it back so he can do that basically. So pretty excited for that change. Now his W is being buffed as well. So the increased healing and regeneration from all sources is being increased from 20% to 25%. So that's quite a bit. 5 extra healing and regen. So this is his W. He puts like this ice, I don't know, frost on the ground or whatever you want. What is it called? Frozen domain. He puts that on the ground and he moves faster. Attack speed is increased, and his health, what is it? Increased healing and regen as well. So that's pretty good. I like that change. Yeah, so that's Trundle. I mean, he's getting buffed. Pretty sweet. I can't wait. So that's really it for the changes on the PBE right now for patch 7.13 or patch 7.13. If there's any other changes, I will update everybody on that. I'll make a video on that. So make sure you hit the notification thing. As always, thank you for watching. And I'm Kobe24, alright? And you guys stay awesome, my friends, and I'm out. Peace!